BassResinator here. My family, okay, first off, I'm a lot older than some of the people who watch these videos, but I'm not necessarily older than everybody. So some of you that are older might remember this type of situation. We would go traveling from South Texas up to Michigan. My parents were missionaries, and a lot of their supporting churches were up in Michigan and northern Ohio. And so they would go up there every other summer or so to make contact with the people that were paying their salary. And back then, there was no FM radio to really speak of. I mean, if you lived in a town, you might have FM. But if you were on the road, you were listening to AM radio if it was available. A lot of radio stations didn't have a lot of power, so we would entertain ourselves by singing songs. And one of the songs that we used to sing, which was so much fun, when I was a little kid, I didn't understand it. I just thought we were singing about butterflies and dragonflies and toilet bowls and different things like that. But all of those things, toilet bowl, if you separate it, toilet bowl, the toilet and the sport, bowling. Have you ever seen a toilet bowl? Well, if you think of it that way, it's hilarious. Have you ever seen a toilet bowl, a toilet bowl, a toilet bowl? Have you ever seen a toilet bowl? Now you tell us one. And then it was the next person in the car had to come up with another thing. Have you ever seen a butterfly? And so forth. Have you ever seen a horsefly? And, a horse flying, that would be Pegasus, but, so I'm taking that and doing a dragonfly. Now, last year on my channel, if you happen to be subscribed at that point, or if you want to go back and watch this video, it's called The Last Flight of the Dragon. And I was walking my dog, and there's a busy street real close to us. And I don't know, we had this influx of dragonflies, beautiful ones, bluish green, and then there were some other ones that were kind of reddish and orange, and they were hunting. And if somebody went out and mowed their lawn, it's like 15 or 20 of these things would come in. They hunt. These guys hunt all kinds of other insects and other little bugs, and they were hovering over the ground about 3-4 inches off the ground, just really look cool. Well, one happened to get going across the street and got walloped, and his head was loose. I mean, the eyeballs were, and he was just sitting there on the side of the road, and I thought, oh man, poor thing. And then I thought, hey, if I take that home and let it dry out, I'll put it in resin. So I did that. I'm going to try and recreate that dragonfly's colors in this one. So I have Let's Resin holographic powders. I'm going to use that for the wings. Yes. And then his eyes and the thorax, this part of his body, were this intense metallic green. Oh, it looked so cool. His antennae were black, except for the very end. Then they were a little bit of bluish on there. On this part, the abdomen, it had green down the middle and blue on the sides. So cool. Well, when I dried it out, the sides faded. I mean, the head and the thorax stayed perfect. The wings, well, one of them was kind of messed up. I had to glue his head back on, poor thing. But, I mean, he was feeling no pain. But the outside, the green down the middle was fine, but the blue faded. So I got out, I have these chrome powders from Resin Rockers. And this one is called Gypsy Turquoise. And I painted it, I just dusted the sides of the actual creature, and it came out really cool. Okay, awesome. So that's what I went with. So what I'm going to do here, I need a different paintbrush. I have a little tiny paintbrush here so that I don't get into the wings. That's the blue. I'm going to go with the green, which is damselfly. Now, a damselfly is a close relative of the dragonfly. They're in the order Odonata. If you're into biology stuff, you'll know what I just said. Hymenoptera are bees, stinging insects that fly. Lepidoptera, butterflies. Odonata, dragonflies and damselflies. Damselflies look like little dainty dragonfly, very slender. Like this is like a dragonfly's body, but the damselfly is super slender and usually much smaller. Well, damselfly and dragonflies related. So I thought that would be the perfect color, and it was green. And that creature that I kept, and he still looks good. That piece. He's in my room, my bedroom. Ooh, I turned this over, and I guess I got a little bit coming out. These are chrome powders, and they also have a bit of color shift to them, which is super cool, I think. And I am going to back this with my Let's Resin black resin. It comes pre-colored. You don't have to worry about mixing and paste to get the right level of blackness to it. It's already black. So that's what I will be doing. Oop, went up into that wing a little bit. I'll have to clean that out. Oh, I leaned over to the side and my back just went. You did not hear it, but I just made the noise for you so you could tell what it sounded like. Now this has the line right down the middle where I will go with the green. I used to always, when we'd sing that song, I used to always want to say toilet bowl because I thought that was funny. Have you ever seen a toilet bowl? And then I realized what we were doing later on. And I thought, oh man. Well, a little kid thinking he's being crazy. And our family had a lot of fun. We all sang. I say we all sing. We all sang because my parents are no longer with us, but all my siblings still are. Even though I was the baby of the bunch. But then when I was 9, my parents adopted another one, a 1-day old. So we were spread way out. My oldest brother is 13 years older, and he has a high tenor voice, but it may have changed a little bit with his age. But my next brother is baritone, which if you don't know voice parts, that is the high bass. Bass is the lowest voice. What I have is a low voice. So I'm a bass. But when I was coming along, since I was last for so many years, I had to defer to a different voice part because my dad sang bass. Daddy sang bass, Mama sang tenor. Me and little brother was joined right in there. I don't know if you've ever heard that song, but that's a lot of fun to sing. So I had second tenor, which, if you know anything about vocal music, second tenor is what they call lead. My mom sang a high soprano. My older sister, sings alto, which is the low voice for females. Soprano is the high voice. So my mom was way up there in the stratosphere. And my sister would sing the lower part. And then my little sister came along, the one that's 9 years younger than me. Oh, when I was going along, I got some. Well, that'll be okay. I don't have to worry about it. I can blend it with the blue. And this resin, this colorant is not cheap. So try to preserve it. You don't need much. Let me get a big wipe over here. I have it way at the end of my desk. Oh, sorry about bumping the camera stand. The big wipe lid just hit it. But so my little sister would sing along with my mom up there in the stratosphere. And then when she got a little bit older and understood voice parts a little bit better, she went to what is called second soprano, or a soprano, still a high voice, but not as high as what my mom would do. So we had fun singing in the car. In the car, in the car, in the car. Hey, hey. And that's this is the bluish one. Now I'm going to color the tips of the antenna with Phoenix, which is a reddish, orangish, color shifting thing that is amazing. Okay, I think I can go with a different brush now. Because I have a bigger area. You might not see much different yet. But when I pull this out of the mold and get it out in the sun, you will definitely see the difference. Yeah, this is amazing how close this is to the original colors of that Dragonfly. And I feel so bad. Beautiful creature and does good, eats mosquitoes and stuff. In fact, in Mexico, the plant that they make pulque or tequila out of is called the agave plant. A common name for it is the century plant because it blooms so rarely. It's usually like every 7 to 10 years, but people would say it takes 100 years to bloom. Well, it doesn't really, but that's why it was called century plant. But these dragonflies would hang around those agave plants, and munch on the insects that were damaging the plant. So the Mexican farmers that were growing agave plants really liked having them around. Now, if you don't know about me, I have a lot of interests. Music, yep. Bible literature and stuff like that. Yep. History. Different arts. Oh, this is the one. Now here we go. Look at that. Sports. I played many different sports. Do not ask me about basketball. I said, don't ask me. I am no good in I can shoot the ball. Dribbling the ball, I'm okay. Fouling, I'm really good at that. And so I'm not good in basketball because I played football and I loved the contact therein. And they don't like that in basketball. And so I sort of didn't like basketball. Another sport I'm not real good in, tennis. I am good in baseball. Well, I haven't played in years, but I was really good in baseball. So I tried combining tennis and baseball, and I kept losing tennis balls over the fence. And they didn't like me doing that. So, and that's all I'm going to do with this Phoenix, just the tips. So the rest of that is going to be black. Black resin when I mix it all up. Okay, now, whoops, there's a little bit extra. These big wipes are really good at cleaning off. And you get, look how it just wicks that right off of there. Yeah, you doggy. And if you get some in an area where you shouldn't have, pull it out. There's a little bit left there. I'm not worried too much worried about it. I'm not too worried about it. So tennis and basketball, nah. Golf, I never really got a chance to play it so much. I like it, but I have found that if you can afford the better clubs, even a person of my ability can be pretty good. I liked going out and playing, especially with my oldest son who played a lot. He's much better than I am. I liked going out and having fun, but I was not the best. Now, I excelled in football and baseball and soccer. So, yeah, I have a lot of different interests. Look at this holographic. Man, it brings it to life. This odonata. Oh, something I'm really good at is spoiling grandkid. I have a granddaughter that lives not too far from me, and just yesterday, she was gifted with a little brother, and he just came home from the hospital today. But he's still a little bit young for me to spoil. I have another grandson that lives a ton of miles away, up in the state of Washington, which is about 3,000 miles away from where I live. But we are going to see him next month. he is turning 1 this year. In fact, just a couple days. And so with my grandson that was just born, he and the other grandson are going to share birthday 3 days apart, which is kind of cool. It'd be easier for me to remember. But one thing I'm kind of happy about with my granddaughter is she likes going out into the garden with me and looking at flowers. And I taught her, oh, don't pick them, just look at them. And now I will give her permission to pick some that we're going to possibly put in silica gel sand to dry so that I can put it in resin. She can help me do that. But she always waits for me to give her permission. And I say, okay, now pick this one. And she does. She does a real good job. But she sits there and learns to appreciate it. She is just 2.5. Okay? Most 2.5-year-olds have no clue. You just wait till you hear what I'm going to say. We picked her up from school when her brother was he had just been born. And the hospital where my daughter-in-law was, and my son was up there too, allowed visiting by the family, the whole family. So my little granddaughter, which never happened when in the old days, you had to be over 14 or something before you could go up into the wards. But we were up there, and the nurse came in, and she was checking my little grandson's heart, and she pulled out, and my granddaughter said, "Stethoscope." 2.5. Oh my word! We all looked at each other because all 4 grandparents were there. My daughter-in-law's parents were there, and her father said, "What did she say?" And my wife said, "I think she said stethoscope." And my son said, "Oh yeah, she knows that word." And we're like, who teaches a 2-year-old or a 2.5 stethoscope? But they might have been working on that, talking about, when she'd have to go with her mom to go to the doctor to check up on the baby and stuff. So, I mean, that just surprised me to no end. Okay, I have finished decorating this guy. I'm going to have to mix up some resin. I am going to clean up the mold a little bit. Look at that. Man, if the camera's not picking it up, wait till I get it out of the mold and change the angle. Oh my. This is just holy cow pretty. Holy cow. That's not a... If you go with the Bible, that's not a really good meaning. Just ask the children of Israel at the base of Mount Sinai. Yeah, they had fun with that. Okay, look at this. Can you see the holographic taking place? Oh, okay, let me mix up some resin. Be right back. Okay, I have mixed up 4 ounces. I do not know how much this mold holds. I have not, as I mentioned, used it before. So, and I'm almost hoping it doesn't hold that much, because I have another mold over here that I want to use in conjunction with this. Conjunction, junction, what's your function? Hooking up words. Anybody else ever watch Schoolhouse Rock? You learn all kinds of stuff with that show on Saturday mornings. Try and get that to a narrower stream. I made it. Okay. That is domed. So good. I still have a little bit left over. I sprayed some alcohol in this because I don't want the edges to get bubbles in there. I will go around with a silicone stick in just a bit. Do I have enough to cover this bottom? Yes. Okay. So I have something in mind for that to go in conjunction with this. Okay. Oh. Okay. Here's the outside edge of that because it's got a little lip. I'm going on the inside edge. Hopefully pushing and releasing any bubbles that might be there. Speaking of bubbles, there's a bubble there and a bubble there. Hooray. Hooray. Oh, it had pockets of mica that I put in there. Dum 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 dum. Hey, I wanna know, will you be my girl? I don't know why that song came to my head, but it had a neat bass line going into it. Dum 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 dum. The school where I used to teach, now I'm retired, the band would always play that. That was one of their, what they call stand songs, what they would play when they were sitting in the stands, not out on the field marching during halftime. To get the crowd pumped. We will pump you up. Yes. Okay. That was for you, Lula. That was sort of my Arnold Schwarzenegger. She dared me, the Nerd Goblin, that's her channel name. She dared me to do a whole video using my Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation. Get to the chopper. Yeah, and that would be kind of fun. Maybe I'll do it on a short or a reel. How's that? Would that count, Lula? She'll probably say, no, that doesn't count. Okay, I'm going to go over. I see a few bubbles that have come up. Now this resin releases bubbles pretty well, but there are some that are coming up with little pockets of mica or those holographic powders. I can see pretty colors all over the back of this already. So that's what's coming up. It's not so much that I mixed it crazily, because I didn't, but I did. I don't have an electric mixer. I actually do have one of the original ones, but this produces more air than just mixing it by hand, so I just mix it by hand. Okay, I will come back to you when this is all cured up. We'll see ya. Okay, I unmolded what I poured into that coaster mold. Look at it. It's got those holographics on there. I think it's going to go perfect with this. If I can figure out some way, I would like to get it to stand up, but I don't want to take away from the... Maybe if I get it like that. You see what I'm doing? Stick it down there and on this tail, and then maybe have a little piece of... Because I want that in the background. Okay. Now I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna make a brace. I don't want to be abrasive, but I'm gonna make a brace. Yes. Okay, while that is going on, let me remove this from the mold. If I were Hebrew, I could say, in total faith, so far so good. But I'm not Hebrew. And I don't play a ram's horn. That's what a shofar is. For those of you that are on the outside looking in. Come on now, get off of there. Okay, okay. Now I loosened around his... Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, look at that little shimmer from the holographic that was loose. Here we go. Oh my. You can see the bluish on the side and the green down the middle. I see some little spots where there were bubbles. Either that or... Oh, it's where the powder was sticking too good. Well, you know, that's not taking away from this too much at all. That holographic going now. And it's a nice sunny day. Wow. Woof. He's flying away. You know, these are... Well, I found out. I had always heard that dragonflies were the fastest flying insects. I found out that the horsefly is the fastest. This can fly up to like 40 miles an hour. The horsefly can fly up to 90, but that's a male chasing a female. Ah. But these guys are hunters. Yeah. I don't know if any of you have ever seen them hunt, but man, really cool. I wonder if I should try and get some of that. I think I'm going to. And try and fill those little holes. Get a little bit of holographic powder of some sort. Put it in there and then
dab it with the toothpick. Okay, does this brace come up? Yep. But let me cure the other side just to be on the safe side. Instead of using that flake, I think I'm going to use a little bit of this laser powder. It has the same holographic type of essence. And I had it handy. It was right in front of me. See, it's got that holographic nature to it. Okay, now get that out the way. This is done, ready to go. That's over there. Move this over here. That's still quite bendy. So is this. Oy. Surgery on a dragonfly's wing. A bunch of these little holes, and as I'm going through here and seeing them, I'm going to try and get one wing done and then put it underneath the light. And then I'll do the other one. But the other one, I will do it off camera because this is taking a little while. And you don't need to see all my gloom, despair, and agony on me. Deep, dark depression, excessive misery. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Gloom, despair, and agony on me. I don't know if any of you ever saw that old TV show called Hee Haw. Hee Haw. Roy Clark and couple other banjo and guitar players really made that show cool. And that was the place, that show was the one where I heard the story of Rindercella. It's Cinderella, but a la Spoonerism. Spoonerism is where you get letters in the wrong place on a word. There's a mockingbird outside going through his litany of calls. Okay. Gloom, despair, and agony on me. There was always somebody doing a little howl like that. This is a pretty decent mold. It's got so many little convolutions in it that make it to where, oh, I've got some in the antennae. I'll figure out what to do with those. I'm not going to use this laser paste though. You can, if you didn't know that I was doing this, you would never see it. But now that you have seen me do this, you know what I'm doing, and you're like, oh, he's no fair. And I say, all is fair in love and dragonflies. Because dragonflies go to war. War with other insects. Okay, now, if I, maybe if I just glue one side down like that, and then put this brace a little bit more on there to make sure it holds. Okay, I got my finger right where his wing is supposed to go. Oops, stay up there. Give it a healthy dose of the UV for bonding. This is going to look really cool once I get it. Stay, stay. Hey, won't you say a little somebody done somebody wrong song and make me feel at home while I miss my baby. Mm, 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 mm. Maybe if I turn it over. Okay, I'm going to come back. I'm going to make another one of these braces to go back this way a little bit to help hold it. Okay, I want to show you what I did. I put 2 more braces, and voila. Yeah. Very cool. Now, to get that out into the sun for the stills so you can see what this looks like. Because I got holographic looking straight down, I got holographic on the wings, and I got this chameleon chrome stuff going on. I'm happy with this. This is cool. If you've hung with me the whole time, thank you so very much. If you are a subscriber of mine, awesome. Thank you. If you are not a subscriber, you ought to consider it. All you got to do is go down to the bottom and push subscribe. And right next to it, there's a little button that says, or it doesn't say anything. It's got a little bell icon. If you click that, then anytime I do something new, you'll be notified. And I am accepting channel memberships now. So if you want to be a member of this channel, there are 2 levels. The Blue Bonnet, which is the level 1, and the Indian Paintbrush, which is level 2. You'll be able to see all my videos ahead of time, and level 2 is going to have some extra things that level 1 does not have. And as I continue to work with these memberships, there's going to be more and more things that happen with level 2 than what happened level 1. Level 1, basically, you get all the videos as soon as I make them, as soon as I post them, even if they're scheduled for a week or 2 later. But yeah, so stick around. You will enjoy, hopefully, the stills of this. I'm really liking this project. Glad I had enough to put into that mold right there. Yeah. Cool. Okay. We'll see you for the next one.